Welcome back to AI Brief, episode 62. I'm Amin, and I'm joined by Leah to dive into the latest in the AI world.
Always great to be here. It seems like every week there's a whole new set of AI developments. Some are groundbreaking, some controversial, some just intriguing.
It really is constantly evolving, and this week is no different. We've got a pretty interesting lineup. We're going to be exploring the controversy around xAI's Grok 3 model. We'll be looking at home humanoid robots with 1X's Neo Gamma, and we'll also be checking out Hugging Face's release of Small VLM2, the smallest video language model in the world.
Sounds like we've got a lot to cover.
Yeah, let's jump right in with that Grok 3 controversy.
So Elon Musk has been promoting this AI as, the ultimate truth seeker, prioritizes truth above all else. But things got a little interesting when Grok 3 started making some statements about Musk himself and former President Trump.
Right, Grok 3's initial statements about both of them spreading misinformation definitely sparked a lot of debate. It shows that even with this commitment to truth, figuring out what truth is and how an AI figures that out is really complicated, especially when it's commenting on its creator.
Exactly.
And the aftermath was even more fascinating. xAI quickly implemented a bunch of measures to, let's just say, guide Grok 3's responses. They tried patching the model by having it refuse to answer questions about these sensitive topics.
Classic AI avoidance.
Right. Then they took it a step further. They were actually telling Grok 3 to exclude specific sources that linked Musk and Trump to these controversial statements. So it wasn't just about avoiding topics, it was about shaping the information Grok 3 could even access.
Wow.
An xAI engineer, Igor Babushkin, he offered an explanation. He said it was a former OpenAI employee who hadn't fully absorbed xAI's culture that was the source of the issue.
Yeah.
But the whole thing brings up this question about whether an AI created and overseen by people with their own opinions and beliefs can ever be objective.
Yeah, it's really hard to separate the AI's output from the biases of its creators.
Absolutely. So let's move on to something a bit lighter, home robots. In particular, 1X's new Neo Gamma humanoid robot. This one's interesting because it's taking a different approach from other humanoid robots like Figure's Helix, which is designed for industrial applications. Neo Gamma is specifically for homes. And they seem to have really focused on making it approachable and less intimidating.
Yeah, Gamma definitely has a softer design. They use materials like knitted nylon for the exterior, so it's less metallic, more textile.
Yeah.
And it even has these emotive earrings that are supposed to make it look more, emotive. It's definitely different from the typical sci-fi robot look.
It's like they're trying to make it feel more like a companion than a machine.
Oh.
But it's not just about looks. This robot has a lot of cool AI capabilities. Can handle a variety of household tasks like cleaning, serving things, moving objects.
And it's not just about the physical tasks. Neo Gamma also has an in-house language model, so it can have natural conversations. Plus, they've improved the audio setup, so communication is clear. You're not just interacting with a robot that follows commands. You can actually have a conversation with it, ask it questions, give instructions in natural language.
That's where things get really interesting. Imagine telling your robot to give you a snack or clean the living room, and it understands and does it. It's a glimpse into a future where robots are just part of our daily lives, helping us with everyday things.
They've also tried to address the issue of noise, which is a common concern with robots. 1X says, Neo Gamma is about as loud as a normal refrigerator.
Yeah.
That's a big deal because you don't want this robot constantly making noise in your home.
Right. It needs to be helpful but not annoying.
Hmm.
But I guess the real test is how people will feel about having this kind of AI presence in their homes. Will they see it as a helpful companion, or will it be weird for them?
It's a fascinating social experiment, for sure. And it could change how we think about and design AI for all parts of our lives.
Okay, so let's move on to something a little more technical, but equally exciting. Smallville M2. This is the world's smallest video language model family, and it can actually run on everyday devices like phones and laptops.
That's a huge deal. Most AI models that deal with video need powerful servers and cloud computing power. But Small VLM2 can process video data locally on your device, no need to send anything to the cloud, and that's a big win for privacy.
Definitely. People are more and more concerned about their data being collected by big tech companies. With Small VLM2, you can analyze video data right on your own device, so your information stays private and secure. But it's not just about privacy. This technology has so many practical applications.
They've already made an iPhone app that can do local video analysis. Imagine searching through your videos, identifying specific objects or scenes, even getting insights about the content without sending your videos to anyone else. And they've also added natural language video navigation so you can search videos using simple English commands.
That's amazing. You could literally say something like, "Show me where my dog catches the frisbee," and the app would find that exact moment in the video. It changes how we interact with video content.
And the flagship model, which has 2.2 billion parameters, that's a measure of a language model's complexity. It actually performs really well even compared to much bigger cloud-based models. It shows how far AI has come in terms of efficiency and power.
It really does. Smolf LM2 has the potential to totally change how we use video. And it's just one example of how AI is becoming more accessible and integrated into our everyday devices. It gives us more power over our data while keeping it private.
It's a big step towards a future where AI isn't just for powerful servers and labs, but is something we all have access to in our pockets.
Well said. Speaking of cool new things, let's quickly go over some other important AI news.
Okay, so Google just officially launched VO2, which is their AI video maker. Anyone can use it for free now, but then it'll be 50 cents for each second of video you make.
Definitely worth checking out. So while Google's going all in on video generation, there are rumors that Microsoft might be slowing down its spending on AI, at least when it comes to infrastructure.
Yeah, there have been reports that Microsoft is canceling leases for some of its data center space across the US. These data centers are essential for AI development. They house all those servers and computing power needed to train and run these complex models.
So is Microsoft getting cold feet about AI, or is there something else happening?
Hard to say for sure. Could be a strategic move to change their capacity based on how much they actually need. Maybe they thought they needed more computing power than they actually do. Or maybe investors are getting a bit nervous about all the money being poured into AI infrastructure. Whatever the reason, it's something to keep an eye on because having enough computing power is crucial for AI to keep advancing.
Makes you think about how sustainable this AI race really is. But hey, let's not focus on the negative. There are plenty of cool AI developments to get excited about, like that new tool that can diagnose multiple diseases with just one blood test.
This is a huge breakthrough. It could change healthcare completely. This AI tool uses advanced machine learning to analyze blood samples and detect all sorts of diseases, like COVID, HIV, lupus, type 1 diabetes, all from one test.
One blood test for all that. It sounds like science fiction. How does it even work?
It's all about recognizing patterns. The AI was trained on a huge amount of blood samples from people with and without these diseases. It learned to spot tiny differences in the blood that show signs of each condition. It's like having a superpowered doctor that can see things humans might miss.
Detecting diseases early is so important for treatment. So this could really be life-changing. Imagine how much it could improve patient outcomes and potentially save lives.
It's a perfect example of how AI can be used to improve health and well-being. What's even more exciting is that this technology could be used to diagnose conditions that we can't even detect right now. It opens up a whole new world for medical diagnostics.
That's incredible.
Mm.
Remember DeepSeek, the company behind the R1 model? The one that got everyone talking about artificial general intelligence, or AGI? Well, they've decided to show everyone a little more about how they work by releasing 5 code repositories full of data and materials from R1's development.
That's a big surprise. Most AI companies are super secretive about their models and data. But DeepSeek says they're doing this to create what they call collective momentum towards AGI. They think that working together openly is the key to making big breakthroughs in AI.
So they're basically making their AI secrets public to help everyone make progress faster. That's a bold move.
It is, and it's causing a lot of debate in the AI community. Some people love that DeepSeek is supporting open source development. They see it as a way to make AI accessible to everyone and prevent a few big companies from controlling it. Others are skeptical. They think true open source AI is impossible, especially for complicated models like R1.
It's a discussion that's not going away anytime soon, but DeepSeek has definitely shaken things up and made everyone rethink what it means for AI to be open source.
It shows how different companies are approaching AI. While some are focused on keeping their secrets and staying ahead of the competition, others want to work together. They believe sharing knowledge and resources will lead to faster progress and benefit everyone.
Speaking of different approaches, OpenAI just expanded their reach. They've launched their operator AI agent in more countries now, including Australia, Brazil, Canada, India, Japan, and the UK.
Operator is that super helpful AI agent that can do tons of things, like scheduling appointments, writing code. It's like having a super smart virtual assistant.
It'll be really interesting to see how people in these different cultures use Operator and what new ways they find to use it. Meanwhile, ByteDance, the company behind TikTok, is making big moves in AI too.
They restructured their AI division and brought in a top Google expert, Woo-Young Lee, to lead their research. It looks like they're serious about competing with companies like DeepSeek and other leading AI labs. The competition in AI is getting fierce, which is great for innovation.
Talking about competition, the rise of AI is bringing up a lot of questions about intellectual property and copyright, especially for creative artists.
That's where someone like Elton John comes in. He's been really vocal about protecting artists' rights in the age of AI. He wants stronger copyright laws and believes AI companies shouldn't be able to use artists' work without permission or payment.
That's an important issue. AI models are trained on huge amounts of copyrighted material, so we need to make sure artists are fairly compensated for their work. The legal and ethical side of AI is getting more and more complicated, and it's great to see people like Elton John raising awareness.
It shows how AI is affecting everything, from the arts to healthcare to our legal systems.
Yeah.
As AI gets more advanced, we're going to see even more of these complex situations pop up.
It's a wild ride, and we're just getting started.
It's true. As AI gets more powerful and becomes part of our lives, we see the good and the bad. It's a tough balance.
And talking about potential downsides, there's the recent news about OpenAI and how ChatGPT might be used for anti-Chinese surveillance.
Right. OpenAI found evidence that a group in China might have used ChatGPT to make an AI surveillance tool called Qianyu. Apparently, it was designed to watch online platforms for any anti-Chinese sentiment or protests, especially in Western countries, and then send that data back to China.
That's a scary thought. It shows how easily AI can be used for things. It wasn't meant for OpenAI shut down the accounts linked to the project, but it raises questions about how to stop this from happening again.
As AI tools become easier to use and more powerful, making sure they're used responsibly is super important. Companies making these tools have to put safeguards in place and watch out for misuse. But it's also a bigger issue for everyone. We need to talk about the ethics of AI and create rules and regulations to control how it's used.
Okay, let's shift gears and talk about xAI, Elon Musk's AI company. They've been making headlines with their big projects, and they're not slowing down.
Remember that huge data center they built for their Colossus supercomputer, the one with thousands of NVIDIA GPUs? Well, they're already building a second AI data center in Atlanta. It's not as big as the first one, but it's still got a ton of computing power with 12,000 NVIDIA GPUs.
Seems like xAI is determined to build the most powerful AI systems in the world. Makes you wonder what they're working on. Are they trying to create the next big language models? Or are they aiming for something even bigger, like pushing the limits of artificial general intelligence?
They're keeping their plans pretty quiet for now, but with all that computing power, you can bet they're aiming high. The race for advanced AI is on, and it'll be interesting to see what xAI comes up with.
All this AI development makes me think about the people who are building these systems. Are software engineers being affected by the rise of these powerful AI coding assistants?
That's something researchers are looking into. A recent study analyzed millions of lines of code and found something interesting. Software engineers are actually reusing less code these days. Instead of building on what's already there, they're writing more new code from scratch.
That's surprising. You'd think AI coding assistants would make it easier to reuse existing code and make development faster.
You'd think so, but the researchers think that relying too much on AI coding assistants might be the reason. These tools can write code quickly, but the code might not be the best or easiest to reuse. It shows how AI tools can change how humans make decisions, even in fields like software development.
It's a good reminder that even though AI is powerful, human developers still need to be involved and check what these assistants are doing. Trusting AI blindly can have unexpected consequences.
Exactly. We need humans to keep an eye on things and use their judgment to make sure AI tools are used effectively and responsibly. Speaking of AI tools, there's some cool news for Apple Vision Pro users.
Yeah, I heard they're finally adding some AI features to the headset. What can Vision Pro users look forward to?
Starting in April, Apple Intelligence is coming to Vision Pro. It'll let users create text and images right on the headset. It opens up a ton of creative possibilities.
It's like a sneak peek into the future, where AI tools are seamlessly part of our devices, enhancing what we can do and blurring the lines between the real and digital worlds. We've talked about robots, truth-seeking AI, and even tiny AI. And that's just the beginning. There are so many AI tools out there that anyone can use right now. Let's look at some of the most interesting ones.
So one that's really cool is Pika swaps. You can do some crazy stuff with images and videos. Like imagine just typing in a few words and you can change objects or even whole characters.
That sounds wild,
Yeah.
almost like movie magic.
Right. And if you want to learn a new way to talk, there's Signs. It's an AI platform that teaches you American Sign Language so more people can learn and connect with the deaf community.
That's awesome, using AI for good. What about for programmers? Any new tools for them?
Yeah, the Flags SDK is a popular one. It's a code library that makes it easier for developers to test new features in their apps. And then for people with Android phones, there's Rabbit Android Agent. It lets you control your apps just by talking. So like you can say, play my favorite music or text mom without even touching your phone.
So it's like having a voice assistant just for your apps. What about for business owners?
Landing is really cool for anyone starting a business or doing marketing. AI makes these landing pages that look amazing and help you get more customers. You don't even need to know any web design or coding.
That's super helpful. What about tools for people who are like me, always digging through files and documents trying to find that one piece of information?
I know what you mean. For that, there's Base Chat. It hooks up to all your stuff like Google Drive, Notion, Jira, all of it.
Yeah.
And then you can just ask it questions and get answers right away, like having your own personal expert.
No, that would save me so much time. Okay, and I gotta ask, is there anything for dealing with all these emails?
There is. It's called Flora from Deerflow. It uses AI to figure out which emails are important and organizes your inbox. It can even help you write replies. It's basically like an AI assistant for your emails.
Okay, I need to check that out. Now, for all the online businesses out there, are there any AI tools to help them get more customers?
Definitely Chatfuel is great if you're using WhatsApp for your business. AI helps you automate conversations, find new leads, and basically make more sales. And then for anyone who works with data, there's Equals. It's like a supercharged spreadsheet that connects to all your data and then helps you make reports and analyze everything. It's like having a data scientist built right in.
So no matter what you do, whether you're a programmer, a marketer, a student, or just want to get more done, there's an AI tool out there that can help.
For sure. And this is just a small taste of what's out there. The AI world is constantly changing with new tools popping up all the time.
It's definitely an exciting time to be paying attention to all this. It's amazing how much AI is already changing our lives.
What's really interesting is how AI is becoming something anyone can use. It's not just for big companies anymore. These tools give regular people a lot of power.
Which is kind of exciting, but also a little scary, right? It's a lot to keep up with.
That's why AI Brief exists, to help everyone understand this complex AI world and keep up with the trends, the challenges, and the opportunities.
And speaking of opportunities, we've just scratched the surface. There are so many incredible AI tools out there waiting to be explored. It really does feel like we're at this point where AI is just becoming a normal part of life.
And the crazy thing is how fast it's all happening. It wasn't that long ago that these tools seemed like something out of science fiction, and now they're everywhere and getting more and more powerful.
So what's next? What can our listeners do to stay ahead of the game?
I think the most important thing is to be open to the possibilities. Don't be afraid to play around with different AI tools. See how they can work for you in your job, your personal life, just for fun.
And of course, keep listening to AI Brief. We're here to help everyone understand AI and all its craziness.
Exactly. AI is always changing, and we're all figuring it out together.
Thanks for joining us.
We hope you found it interesting. If you did, we'd love for you to subscribe and tell your friends about AI Brief.
And until next time, stay curious about the incredible world of AI.